it's Labor Day weekend, so you know what that means. I get an extra day to procrastinate on the paper that I have due when I get back on Tuesday. Oh boy. So what am I doing with this extra procrastination time, you ask? I'm trying out PlayStation VR. So yeah, this weekend, myself and a few friends got to try out PlayStation VR, and I gotta say, it was definitely a lot different than what I was expecting. To give some insight, I had tried the Vive first at RTX, and that was a fucking hoot. And after that, I basically said, wow, this is the pinnacle VR experience, and if I get anything less, I'm gonna cry like a little bitch about it and whine until I get enough money to get a Vive. And then I looked into how much it's gonna cost to buy a rig that can perform, you know, the necessary functions of HTC Vive, and then the HTC Vive itself, and I realized, wow, I don't fucking have this kind of budget. Who the fuck you think I am, Mr. fucking Moneybags?
Fuck you, Moneybags. Oh!
So, when looking into alternatives, I, like what I presume are many others, came across PlayStation VR, or Project Morpheus, or whatever the fuck they want us to call it. And I figured out that a place nearby me this weekend had been demoing it. So we went over there and gave it a shot. And I gotta say, it exceeded my expectations. I had initially gone in thinking that it's not gonna be too great, or it's not going to be anywhere past the basic consumer level of VR, you know, casual consumer, not really looking into specifics or details. But from what I understood, or I guess from what I used, and since it's about a month away until it releases, I'm presuming that what I used is relatively representative of the product that's going to release. I was honestly pleasantly surprised, and I enjoyed what I got to play. So when I sat down, I was playing Eve Valkyrie, which is that space game, and it was definitely a lot of fun. I don't want to spend too much time talking about, you know, the PlayStation VR and all this, you know, specific how it works, blah blah blah, because it's not really any different from your typical VR experience. The tracking on the headset was actually pretty good. I honestly didn't really have any complaints about it. If anything, it was a little too good, because I was, as you can very clearly see, leaning in a lot to compensate for, you know, the G-forces. I didn't just couple my G diffuser. And when I was leaning in, I sort of felt like, man, why am I so close to the cockpit? And then I realized, oh shit, it's because I'm leaning in. So yeah, head tracking is definitely good. They didn't fuck up on that part. The audio design, at least in the demos, is all really good. You know, with Sony, like, I don't know how they get it to work or set it up or build it or whatever, but their 3D audio really helps immerse you in the experience. In terms of the actual headset itself, it's very strong material. Definitely feels a lot better built than the PlayStation controllers themselves, you know, the DualShock 4s or whatever. They're definitely built much better than that. Feels like a premium headset, to be honest. It's very lightweight. I honestly, when I put it on and I started playing the game, imagine like you're wearing a hat. And yeah, that's basically it. It's like wearing a hat. Like, that's how comfortable and light it is. It fit my glasses, and me being the hipster piece of shit that I am, I have relatively large art house glasses, and those fit wonderfully. Like, those fit with room still in there. So any of you guys who have glasses, or any of you who are indie darlings like myself, your glasses will fit just fine. Don't worry, you can buy the mainstream consumer product and still listen to your fucking Bandcamp shit. Now, in terms of graphical fidelity, or, you know, the quality of the games and the demos, I will say that my full range of vision was covered, as in like my peripherals and everything were covered. There was one like small little like light leakage at the bottom, but once the game started, I honestly didn't even notice. And I think they just keep that there for like, in case if you really quickly gotta snap back to reality, you can, you know, look all the way down and you'll see the light in your shirt and everything and all that. It fits well, and like once the game starts, I didn't notice, and none of my other friends noticed either when I'd asked them about it. But I will say, it's definitely not super good looking in terms of graphical quality. Maybe it's just because the game that I picked was, you know, kind of graphic intensive. I'm sure other, you know, maybe lower poly games, or, you know, Minecraft VR or whatever is gonna look a little better, but when I was playing Eve, everything sort of looked kind of, I don't want to say outdated, and I don't want to say old either. It didn't look bad. Okay, let me just fucking press rewind on the tape, please. Can we just, Paul, Press rewind on the VCR. So the game that I played, Eve Valkyrie, didn't really look bad. It looked fantastic. All the colors and everything were there for sure, but it was very low resolution. I felt like there was a lot of aliasing that was going on. Like there was no anti-aliasing enabled, and after a while, some of the textures, especially if like it was a lock-on texture or something like that, if it was too far away, it got really hard to read, like to the point to where it just looked like pixels. In fact, there was a portion of the game where there was a little menu in my cockpit, and it was trying to tell me something, but I couldn't understand it because I thought like, oh, okay, that's an alien language. But then I got a closer look at it for a second and I realized, wait, that's English. That's English, and it's so low resolution that you can't really see that. And I feel like that's an issue that's gonna persist with the PlayStation 4 and with the PS4 Neo. You know, if it stacks up, it should be able to take care of that, and I have a feeling that it will. I have a feeling that it's being designed specifically to take care of that. But overall, when I was playing the demo, it was definitely fun. It was definitely immersive. I definitely forgot about everything else outside, and the 7-minute demo that I played felt like 3 minutes. But I will say that the quality of it is definitely leaving something to be desired, and I understand that that's because it's, you know, the PlayStation 4, the hardware is not guys, my fucking MacBook from 2012 can play shit better than the PlayStation 4. So I understand that that's a hardware thing and that's not going to be fixed until the new PlayStation comes out. But segue into my next point, if you are looking into buying the PlayStation VR and you're nervous about it and, you know, not holding up well compared to the Oculus Rift or being a consumer grade version of, you know, Babby's first VR. No, Babby's first VR is a fucking Gear VR, okay? That shit sucks. PlayStation VR can definitely hold itself up next to its competitors, and I feel like if you are looking into buying PlayStation VR, wait until the PS4 Neo comes out. I know it's probably gonna suck and you're gonna be like, oh, everybody else is playing all these cool VR games and I don't have any. In my opinion, you're gonna be better off waiting just a little bit until the PlayStation 4 Neo comes out. By then, all of those issues will hopefully have been worked out in terms of the processing power that you get, and you won't have to worry about not being able to read shit on the back of a note in the new Resident Evil game. Yeah, that's a real issue that people are having with that new Resident Evil demo. They play the VR version of it and they can't read the lettering that's on the back of one little picture, which is key to solving the mystery, by the way, because the resolution is so low. So if I were you, if you're getting PlayStation VR, wait until the Neo. It's definitely not bad. It is in the exact opposite. It's very good. The build quality is, in my opinion, better than the Oculus Rift. It's lightweight, it's fun to use. The controls on it are very intuitive, very convenient. The cord even is not that obtrusive. You don't even notice it. It's not like the Vive cord where it's this big ass heavy cable that, you know, drags you around everywhere. The PlayStation VR cord was pretty small. Like I think it was the thickness was only about as thick as like the power cable of the console. And to my knowledge, that's not very thick. So yeah, if you're on a budget and you already have a PlayStation account or a bunch of stuff on there, or if you don't have the kind of money to drop on a PC rig and a, you know, Oculus Rift and HTC Vive and what have you, definitely consider PlayStation VR. However, consider it after the PlayStation 4 Neo has come out. I think then and only then will it definitely be able to be like, you know, considered a very serious contender in the VR market. And I really hope that, you know, all these fucking media outlets don't rip it a new one just because like, oh, it's so low resolution, blah, blah, blah. And then it, you know, doesn't sell for shit even when the PS4 Neo comes out. No, in my opinion, I personally would have wished that PlayStation, or I guess Sony, would release the headset alongside the PS4 Neo and call it like a 4K/VR dedicated, you know, console. I don't fucking know. I don't work for Sony. I make movies, okay? Look, PlayStation VR on the regular PS4, 6 out of 10. On the PS4 Neo, probably an 8.5.
Take two, since I wasn't recording previously. What did you play?
So I play Battlezone.
Okay, and so we'll skip over the other questions I just asked you, and I'll ask you, did it feel super immersive? Like
No, definitely.
Yeah?
Like even with all the like the low poly stuff, like when I first got in there and just looking at like everything all around me, it was just like I couldn't tell where I was for like 5 minutes.
How did it sound? Like sound design wise?
Sound design was perfect too.
Yeah.
But no, it felt like all those times you do like I'm really compare it to like 3D roller coaster rides. You know what I'm talking about? Those like immersive.
Yeah, the one that like they got like Universal
Well,
and
it's
stuff like that.
It's just like that, except I don't know. It feels like it's hard to explain. I feel like I'm supposed to be in there playing the game, you know, in this world that they're in.
Yeah.
Not just, you know, sitting on my couch playing.
This is Spring Break 2012. Damon Herrera hanging out on Daytona Beach, getting it on the reel, man.
Oh yeah.
I just I shredded a sick wave, man.
Oh nice.
And I also played the PlayStation VR.
Oh cool.
Played something. There was a shark. I was in a cage,
Ooh.
and I went down into the water for a few minutes, and then a shark swam around me.
How'd it feel?
It felt pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was like a shark was right there.
Did you feel like you were in the cage?
Sorta. He
Sorta.
went down to bite my legs, and then I didn't have legs.
Oh. That's not
No,
good.
it was cool, though.
You still have legs, though, right?
I do still have legs.
Okay, good.
It was cool.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks better than the gear, because the gear is a phone.
Yeah, that's true. Did it sound good?
It did sound good.
How did the headset feel?
It felt good. It felt comfortable. That was
Yeah.
it was a comfortable headset.
And Peter.
Yes, I played this game, Eve Valkyrie.
Okay. What'd you
It was
think?
fun. I shot people and flew and stuff.
Okay. What are some pros? What are some cons?
It was fun.
Okay.
You think it'd be
I mean, I don't have much experience with VR headsets.
Well,
so,
like, this is your first time. How'd you feel?
like, I mean, part of me knew this was a VR, you know, like, I don't think that anything outside of like an actual dream type thing is going to take that away. But yeah, it was pretty decent. I mean, it's more or less what I was expecting of it, but
What you're respecting?
yeah, cool.